Hey, what's up, everybody? So earlier this week, I ran a poll about a phishing simulation that I read about, where researchers were trying to see what type of phishing scam got the most people to click the link or take the bait. So they had four different types of scams that are quite popular out there. One involved CEO fraud, where someone gets an email pretending to be the CEO or the owner of the company and gets them to take some kind of action. The second one was document sharing, where you might get a link from like the Google Drive or SharePoint or Dropbox or something like that, asking you to take a look at this. Maybe it's a zip file, something like that. The third one was an internal HR mimic. These are popular with asking people to do things like update payroll information or maybe health insurance information, that kind of thing. And then the last one was a service issue notification. That's where you get things like, "Hey, this is Microsoft. It's time to update your password," or maybe something about your antivirus has expired. It's time to update your antivirus. That would be that kind of thing. So I put that out as a poll to see what you thought might be some of the most popular and most effective ways of getting somebody to click on something. For our poll, service and issue notification came in first place with 38% of the votes. Internal HR mimic came in at 30%. 30% of the votes. For second place, in third place came document sharing, and in third place came CEO fraud, and then document sharing. Both of those were in a pretty close tie there. So, for the results of the actual survey, what we found was, or what the researchers found was, internal HR mimic was far and away the most popular results for the purposes of this study. The second one for them was CEO fraud, and then document sharing and the service issue notification were the bottom two. So there's a pretty interesting thing that I want you to pay attention to here. Document sharing and service issue notifications tend to be things that are a little more impersonal. So, service issue notification comes to you from a software or some kind of website or something like that. Document sharing, probably a little more personal, but still, it's not really, the kind of thing. We're taught not to click on links a lot. That is not nearly as prevalent as it once was. The internal HR mimic and the CEO fraud are so successful for phishing attempts because they're personal. They are impersonating someone that you think you know. So my last name is Coleman. So you might get an email if I was your CEO. You might get an email just for for the purpose of illustration. Say my email is Matthew Coleman at abc.com. You might get an email from Matthew Coleman or Coleman. So they would change just the last letter in my name from being an N to an M, but everything else would look the same. So at first glance, you would think that you were getting an email from me and you would respond to it accordingly. The HR mimic is one that's quite popular because nobody likes their payroll getting messed with. Nobody likes their health insurance getting messed with. So when something happens and it feels like a change needs to be made, they're usually very quick to reply. I think somewhere in this article, it actually talks about how I believe the attacks all happened within the first 5 minutes of the email even coming in. So that's pretty impressive. I'll include a link to this below this video so you can check it out a little bit later. But again, the big takeaway in all of this is you really just got to pay it. You got to slow down and pay attention. So we are in a super fast paced culture. Everything's moving at the speed of light right now, especially when it gets into the digital workplace and the digital landscape. If I could leave you with one piece of advice, it would just be to think twice before taking any kind of action on an email, especially these ones where you might have a personal connection with people, the HR and the CEO fraud in particular. Pick up the phone and call. send an email to that person outside of this email chain. So if somebody's asking you for something and it's important information, send them another email. Let them know, hey, I got an email from you. I'm just double checking to make sure it's legit. If it is, I'll get you everything. That way you can feel a little safer. Hopefully, you know, these types of people won't be asking for this kind of information via email, that it would be a little more personal touch. But a lot of times that can depend on the size of your organization. If you've got any questions about, how phishing scams work, how malware attacks work, I'm include a link to this. We've got a white paper that you can download and check that out. Another thing that we can do, if you know that this is something you want to do a little more research into for your company, we have training campaigns that we can run. We can actually set up phishing campaigns for your company and send them out to your employees, and we'll try to get people to click on things. That way, you'll know, hey, 10% of my people fell for it, 80% of my people fell for it, and then we can go about using that as a training opportunity to say, hey, this is what happened. These are the types of things that we need to be on the lookout for, because here are some of the things that can really go wrong. Again, check out this white paper. It's going to have a ton more details around that kind of thing. Also, if you've got any other questions about stuff like that, you can head over to the Atlantic Computer Services website. Over here in the services, you'll find cybersecurity services. We talk about all the different things that we can do around that for your company. And then you can always just contact us and let us know that you'd like to talk more and find out about what we can do to secure your business and keep you from winding up as one of these statistics. Because ultimately, that's what we're really all about: protecting you, protecting your business, protecting your employees, protecting your clients, because it really does only take one click for everything to go wrong. Thanks again to everybody who participated in our survey, or in our poll here. I really appreciate it. Everybody that did participate got a link back to this article. I'll also share links to all of this stuff below this video so you can check that out. And if you have any questions, drop me a comment below this video, or shoot me a direct message if you prefer a little more discretion. That's perfectly fine too. Thanks so much.